Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? This is Jim from the Pain PT. If you guys like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel to reach more people. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'll continue to be putting out free content here to help you guys. If you guys want more support one-to-one, I work with people on a coaching basis full time to help people get over these mind-body conditions, health conditions, or if you're wondering if your condition is related to your brain and nervous system, then reach out. You can go to my website, thepainpt.com. I also offer group coaching, which I do once a week for 2 hours a week for people who want to join a community to learn more and how to integrate some of these practices I speak to here. So today we're going to talk about a topic or a word or a phrase actually that I really like to use and keeps you on track is move through it while it moves through you. Move through it while it moves through you. And what do I mean by this? So the first part of that sentence there, move through it. So that's actually going forward, right? So we want to move forward with our lives. Okay. Many of us are stuck here. Many of us have our lives have shrunk down. We've avoided, we've pulled back, we've become limited in what we can do because of our symptoms. People stuck in chronic symptoms many times have stopped doing things that they have done before. They've avoided things that they used to do no problem. So we have to get back to these things. So move through it. And through it, what's the word it mean? Well, it could be anything. Move through it. So it could be symptoms you're experiencing, could be emotions you're feeling, it could be thoughts that are swirling through your mind. These are the things we're talking about. We're talking about the brain and nervous system. We're talking about what you can be noticing in yourself. Okay, so move through it. So again, the word it stands for multiple things. And in this world, the stuff we're talking about here, it stands for symptoms, it stands for your thoughts, it stands for your emotions. Okay. That's what you're going to experience. What you can experience inside yourself are those three things. Okay. You can have thoughts, you can have feelings, you can have symptoms, which is also feeling. Okay. So we want to move through it. And why do we want to move through it? Is because that's called exposure, or that's a way to challenge or a way to teach the brain that these things are okay. Okay, that whatever it is we want to do, we want to go back to doing this activity or eating this food or whatever we've stopped doing or been avoiding or withdrawing from, we want to return to these things in a graded, gradual way. Okay, to teach the brain that these things that we've stopped doing are actually okay and fine. And it's the brain that's reacting, the brain that's sensitive, it's the brain that's protective in its reaction. That's why you're experiencing these things. It's nothing wrong in your body. So when you have a mind body condition, what I call BS, it's brain sensations or brain signals of stress in your body, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. This is a, again, overprotective and emotionally reactive or oversensitive brain that is reacting to what you're trying to do. And it's learned through different mechanisms and it believes potentially that these things now are bad. That's simple. And you're having to teach your brain that no, these things are normal. So move through it. Okay, move through it. Whatever that it is, the it could also be um, things that you don't want to do. Okay, so let's go and challenge yourself and expose yourself and confront these things. So move through it while it moves through you. Okay, the second part of that sentence, while it moves through you, what does that mean? Well, the it again here, the thoughts, the emotions, the symptoms, those three things, let them move through you. This is the storm. I call this the storm. The brain creates the storm of thoughts, emotions, feelings, symptoms. Let it all move through you. Let it pass. Let the storm pass. I want you to move through the storm. Okay, so you're going to walk through the storm. You're going to move forward. Okay, because the word forward means you're facing. Okay, I talk a lot about this And I think this is really one of the most important things is we have to get into what's called the facing state. We're going to face this stuff. We're going to move forward and face it. While it moves through you, we're going to face what's also moving through your system. And this is where people have trouble. I would say the second half of this sentence is where people struggle more than the first half. Okay, so move through it is the exposure. People are starting to do that. But while it moves through you, people struggle with that. They have a hard time. They don't want it to move through them. They want to push it away. They want to fix it. They want it to stop, whatever's trying to come into them. What is that? That's fight. You can't do that. It's a fight reaction. It's not going to work. Other times people want to avoid that. I don't want to feel this. It's too much. I can't handle it. I get overloaded. I want to avoid this. I want to get away from this. I want to shut it down. Okay, so that's flight or freeze. Shut down or shut it down. I don't want it to move through me. It has to move through you. There's no other answer. Okay, so let it move through you. Move through it while it moves through you. And again, what the it represents is those three things: thoughts, emotions, and symptoms. Let them pass, let them flow to go. Don't get caught up in them. You got to recognize yourself. If you're getting swept away by your thinking, you're producing more negative thoughts, you're believing these thoughts. Don't believe everything that runs through your head. Okay. And also you need to get in touch with the feelings. What are these emotions that you could be feeling? Can you recognize them, become more aware, label them, let the emotional feeling be felt? That's letting the feeling move through you. All emotions are okay, right? So we're going to let them pass through the body. That's a practice we're learning to do. All right. And then with the symptoms, same thing. You can't fix them. No, you can't avoid them. No, it's not going to work. And if you freeze your symptoms, well, they're waiting for you. So fight, flight, freeze is not going to work, everybody, with these things. We have to face it. So we got to move through it while it moves through you. Let it move through you. This is the second half of the sentence. You can say these are the two things we're doing here to recover, okay? Because the brain is quite reactive. It's quite sensitive. And when you start moving forward and moving through it, it's very likely that it kicks up these reactions again, either as protection or because the system is sensitized, it's sensitive, or there's some type of emotional reaction. And you'll have emotional reactions too when you go out and you move through stuff and you go do stuff and you face people and situations. You're going to have reactions. All right. And the idea is we have to learn how to handle them in a good way. And that's the second part of that sentence. Okay. So again, I like little sentences like this to remind yourself of what you need to do here. They're very simple, but it keeps you on track. Okay, I got to move through this. Let this move through me. Okay, let me not get overwhelmed by what this is. That's called a hijack. Let me process what's moving through me. I'm going to process my emotions and my feelings. I'm going to let those storms of feelings pass through. So again, think of it as a storm. Okay. And you can think of this as a snowstorm. Let's say it's a snowstorm and it's snowing outside and it's coming down hard and you can't really see clearly and it's cold and it's uncomfortable and it's painful. And I'm saying, okay, let's move through it. So you're going out and you're taking your car and you say, let's say I'm going to drive through the storm. Now, this is a nice example because when you face this storm, you're going to drive your car through it. You're going to drive through it in a way that's in control. You're going to regulate the car. You're going to stay calm. You don't want to be freaking out over the storm because you're going to lose your focus and maybe go into an accident. Okay. You also don't want to be pushing back the snow. If it's a snowstorm, I don't want you to be a snow plow and try to plow back the snow. I'm going to push this back and this is going to push right through it. What is that? That's fight. And just imagine a snowstorm. If you're a snow plow and you keep pushing and pushing, it's going to build up, and it's going to overwhelm you. You're not going to be able to get where you want to go. It's too much fight. And if you stop the car and you say, I can't go anywhere. I'm just going to stay here and stay stuck. Now you're frozen. And literally with a snowstorm, you'll become frozen. Your car breaks down, you're going to be frozen now and go into a freeze state. So you're not going to get to your destination. You're not going to be able to go forward. You're going to stop moving forward. First part of that equation. Okay. And if you turn your car around and you say, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. It's snowstorms too much. I'm going to drive home now. I got to drive back. Well, you're not going to get to where you need to go either. Okay. So those are representing that little story there is representing fight, flight, and freeze. Okay. The fourth state is face. We want to face this. We're going to drive through the storm at a measured pace, okay, at a good speed. So we're not going to go too fast so we get out of control and hit some ice patches and crash the car. Okay, we're going to go at a reasonable pace, but we're going to be consistent. We're going to deal with all the snow and everything coming in. We're going to stay calm. We're going to keep our nervous system as calm as we can. We're going to do that, and we're going to slowly get to where we need to be. And in the way, that is what we're talking about here. You're going to move through it while the snow moves through you, okay? While you face this storm that's moving through you. You can't push the storm away. Impossible. You're not going to make the storm go away. You turn around and go home, well, you're not going to get there. You stop the car and you freeze up in the face of the storm, you're going to freeze. You're going to become frozen. So that's what your brains, everybody, is going to do when you're having symptoms, high thoughts, high emotions, is you are likely to go into fight, flight, freeze. And I'm telling you, you want to come out of those things and go into face and move through it while it moves through you. Move through it while it moves through you. This is the approach in one sentence. Okay. And while you're moving through it, you're moving through it in as calm of a state as you can, as regulated of a nervous system state as you can. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to try to stay in a window of tolerance that you can handle this. You don't get overloaded, because then you'll go into too much fight, flight, freeze, and that's not going to be helpful. So you can pause. I have another video that says pause, but don't stop. That's another way to think of it. You can take little breaks. You're driving your car through the snowstorm. You say, okay, I'm just going to pull over here for a moment just to relax and settle myself. And then I'm going to drive forward again. All right. And we need to keep doing this over and over again. We have to move through these storms of thoughts, feelings, and symptoms and let them move through us. And as we keep doing that, what happens is the storms become less intense. The storms become less long lasting. And it's a lot easier to go forward. And it's more daylight. There's more sunny skies. And we don't have to deal with as much of these storms. But they can come because the brain's reactive. And the brain, again, well, why does it react? Well, there's lots of reasons, but again, from your past, what your brain's learned, how you deal with your emotions, how you think about things, all this stuff. And it's very unconscious and it's very fast, and you're not going to stop the storms. So just realize that you, just like in life, you can't stop a storm coming to where you live. It's impossible. You can't stop this. But what you can do is work with this. It's how you work with it, how you work with these storms. And the storms are inside you. So these aren't external storms. These are internal storms, again, of thoughts, feelings, symptoms. Move through them while they move through you. Let them move through you as you move forward, okay? Hopefully this makes sense, everybody. I really want to drive this in and return to this video if you need it. Think about it. Have this phrase in your head. Move through it while it moves through me. Am I doing this? Am I moving forward every day to do a little more? And am I allowing whatever this is to move through me and not get swept away, caught up in it, react to it, get fearful over it, focus on it, try to fix it, get frustrated over it, right? These are the things that aren't going to help. They're going to make a bigger storm, more storm that you have to get through. Okay, it's going to reinforce storms coming next time. So I hope this makes sense. Everybody, move through it while it moves through you. And this is, again, how you're going to teach your brain that everything's okay. You're okay. What you're dealing with is also just a production of your brain. It's BS trickling through your nervous system into your body. That you're safe, you're secure, you can do it. And so let's keep doing it, everybody. I want you all to become a success story. If you need help doing this, this is my job. So reach out. I'm happy to help you get through the storms and start a plan of action to move forward if you're stuck or you're avoiding. Okay. Because I want you all to get back to your lives. And then you can come on and share your story on the channel. Okay. I've always got new people coming in that are going to be sharing their success stories. And it's fantastic because you're helping other people. And when you get to the other side of this and you realize, wow, I've done it, it's super, super rewarding to share your story, not only for yourself, but to help other people. And I love to see it. It helps me to keep doing what I'm doing to help people because this is not easy work, everybody. I'll leave you with this. This is not easy work. Okay. Just like driving through a snowstorm, you don't want to do that, but you have to do that. That's how you recover. Okay. This is maybe the hardest thing you'll do in your life to get over this stuff because you're retraining a very sensitive and possibly trauma affected brain that needs a lot of retraining in the right way to calm down and get back to some more of a normal state. All right. Move through it while it moves through you. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye now.